Let's do this. What happens after you die? Right? One of the most terrifying questions one could ask, what happens to you when you die? So, let's go. Once again, take everything I present with a huge grain of pink Himalayan sea salt. There was a man named Dr. Michael Newton who wrote a book called Journey of Souls that contains the purported recollections of 7,000 people who, through a method of putting the mind in a theta brainwave state in a process called quantum hypnosis, healing, or past life regression, all recalled death being the exact same way. His research spanned over 30 years. Okay, we got to go through this. I'm fascinated now. Okay, Dr. Newton found that no matter what you believed, what your religious and spiritual philosophies are, once under hypnosis, all 7,000 of these people described the afterlife the same way, or the same, speculating that there is a universal shared truth that underlies our experience of death that transcends personal belief, background, and faith. So what happens? First, these people describe your soul floating above your body and seeing their lifeless physical self. This out-of-body experience is often reported in near-death experiences and is considered a common aspect of life after you die. Dr. Newton notes that this initial stage of death is characterized by a sense of disorientation and confusion because you'll struggle to come to terms with the freedom that comes with death. So you'll have a, what the fuck am I? I'm dead. This is a so cool moment. At this point, whatever you believe will pose to be important, because if you believe death is nothing, what happens to your soul after you die will come as a bit of a shock. For instance, individuals who strongly believed in a hell or purgatory often experience a period of darkness or isolation before transitioning to the spirit realm. Dr. Newton states that the darkness from being in purgatory due to your beliefs isn't reserved for bad people necessarily. It was a common experience for religious zealots who hold a strong belief in hell. Ooh. So this phenomenon is believed to be related to a person's beliefs, fears, and expectations rather than their moral code or their actions as they lived. Hell is more of a reflection of their own inner world of shame, guilt, and the way they perceive where bad souls go, rather than it being a form of punishment. His theory posits that free will still exists outside of the state of consciousness, so that at this point you're still on earth and floating around, which means you can choose to attend your own funeral or not. And because you have free will, you can choose to stay on earth as long as you feel like, until you go through the tunnel of light. And the tunnel of light is described as a portal into another dimension, and the place all souls go is called the spirit realm, a heavenly-like place which these people describe as better in all ways and feels more homely and more real than earth ever felt. Dr. Newton's research suggests that the spirit realm is a realm of peace, love, and unity where souls reconnect with their spiritual essence and experience a sense of belonging and connection with souls past. The first thing people do when they get to this realm is party, dance, and celebrate with their soul families. Souls that have died, souls they have known, souls from their own past lifetimes. They say this is the most cathartic and beautiful experience they've ever had to endure. While describing this, most, if not all, 7,000 people are crying. The book states you have free will even in the spirit realm, not just on earth, so you can do whatever you want. You can choose to recreate your childhood. You can reconnect with people you've known who have passed on that you finally get to see again. And you can choose to be intimate with a mate, hence the term soulmate. This is a process whereby you merge souls in the form of a soul hug with someone you consider your soulmate and have access to their lifetimes and how they lived about on earth upon entering their consciousness. Wow, that's deep. That's fucking deep. After this, they describe going into this huge library and grab their book of life, reviewing their last life, what they did, the choices they made, the lessons they learned, because every life is written in a book as you live it, and once you die, the book is complete. They recount as having the option to choose to go into the book and transport to any point in their life and see it from above, or just see it from their eyes. Eventually, when you're done, you are given the opportunity to choose your next life and be reincarnated. Take everything being presented with a huge grain of pink Himalayan sea salt, people. Okay? I'm just a disseminator of information. Okay, you can choose where you're born, when, who your parents will be, and choose when and how you'll meet your soulmate. They describe this as making all these soul agreements or soul contracts to concede on the life you choose, and it being the life you can put into practice all lessons learned from your past life. Now, we all pretty much agree there's lessons to be learned while we're in this meat suit. So that I'm with it. This is it's rather fascinating. Like almost like a relief. Like if you believe what's being read here, this is almost like a relief. Once again, this is a grand account of 7,000 people that pretty much all said the same thing. This is what happens when you die or near death. Okay. Wow. Okay. Let me see. So yes, we all choose this life apparently, and granted, the completed future isn't written yet. Refer back to the book, so it's more of an estimation of what the life will be like before you choose it. In so much as your future is written in the book of life as you live it, you are still in charge of your own destiny and shape whatever direction your life will go. The ink isn't dry yet, so live. Okay. Anyway, because of the information they're exposed to, granted, it's not a full-scale viewing of the life they live. They choose that life. And once they choose that life, they come back as a baby on Earth. That's if you choose Earth as the planet to be on. You can choose anywhere. This process happens when the soul merges with the baby and will only unmerge when the physical body dies. And the soul does this over and over again. Wow. You know what's funny? Because I was reading a passage where it said you could pretty much, once you cross over, you can go to any dimension or any planet of any creature and choose to live that life, reincarnate. So this kind of like puts that in almost in agreement with what I read a couple of days ago. Fascinating stuff. Oh, what did Nick say? What? So you're saying I chose not to find a rich family, basically.